Hello, AfriPod community, a community where we strengthen equitable food systems in Kenya and beyond. And as always, we always want to give you the best guest speakers, noble, educated, transformed, strategic, and even empowered guest speakers who will in turn give you information, knowledge, understanding that you need as a business person to grow and sustain your business economically. My name is Edith Omundi, and I will be your host. Let's dive in. Now, in today's episode, we want to talk about product development and product certification. Research shows that there are so many micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises who have not yet certified their product. This means that investors cannot trust your product. This also means that you can't export, you cannot get your product to the supermarkets, which again begs the question, what can we do to ensure that we help these MSMEs get their product exported or even get their product certified? So today we have an amazing guest who understands the step-by-step process. She understands the tricks and the hacks that you need as a business person to get your product certified. And I would like to introduce the guest. And because I don't want to miss any, I don't want to miss to any of her impact that she has done in the ecosystem. So allow me read her bio. So Ingrid Wekesa is a dedicated assistant principal research scientist currently serving as the Assistant Director Technology Transfer and Extension Services at Kenya Industrial and Research Development Institute, KIRDI. A key aspect of her work involves empowering micro, small and medium-sized enterprises. Ingrid also has a proven record of guiding numerous businesses from the initial ideation stage through a successful product development. Her support is instrumental in helping these enterprises navigate the critical process of Kenya Bureau of Standards, that is KEBS, certification, ensuring that their products meet national quality standard and gain market access. Thank you so much, Ingrid, for creating time and also for honoring this invite just to come and share with the entrepreneurs, those upcoming, those who are stuck in product development and product certification.
Thank you very much, Edith, for having me, and thank you very much for the well-loaded introduction and profile. We are hoping that we're going to live up to it. Asante sana.
We appreciate. Thank you so much. And so, before we get into the nitty-gritties, I would like to just ask you, or maybe start with a very soft landing. What is the most said misconception about KIRDI that you've heard from upcoming entrepreneurs and also entrepreneurs generally?
I would say that probably the misconception that I have had that's misleading is that KIRDI deals with very large enterprises, or if you do not have something that is very big, you cannot be able to engage with KIRDI, which is not the case, because we manage to deal with entrepreneurs and industrial clients using the whole scope. If you're looking at micro, small, and medium enterprises, all up to the major industries. So we are actually targeting the whole industry space. Mm-hmm. All industrial clients are normally welcome to KIRDI, not just a specific kind of client profile.
And I think that is clear, not to the entrepreneurs, yes. Right? Mm-hmm. And so, again, what is coming out very clearly is the fact that there are other entrepreneurs who interchangeably, replace the role of KIRDI and KEBS. So would you just, demystify the role of KIRDI and the role of KEBS, even before we get into you sharing your journey at KIRDI?
Yes, sure. I'll start with the role of KEBS. KEBS is a sister organization in our ministry. KEBS are regulatory.
Okay.
KIRDI is not regulatory. KIRDI basically is one of the institutions which was set up to help enterprises or industrial enterprises to grow. So our services are basically very different. For them, they offer the regulatory bit, making sure they give you the certifications. KIRDI does not give you certifications. KIRDI helps you in the journey towards certification. So if you're looking at the product development space, if you're looking at technology access, if you're looking at technology training and other related services which enable you now to be able to access certification of your products, KIRDI is the place to be.
Yes. Okay. So KEBS, it is more of a regulatory.
Yes.
But now KIRDI takes you through that process of product development.
Yes, it does.
So, but again, they work hand in hand.
They work hand in hand. You cannot have one without the other.
Okay.
Because for you to be able to successfully have a product that is able to be certified by KEBS, it has to be the right product. It has to have the right specifications.
Yeah.
It has to be of the right quality. And that is where the technical guidance for KIRDI comes from.
Okay.
You're able to be guided through this whole process. How do you make your product? How are you able to improve it? If it is just process-based, how are you able to improve your processes when you're making your product so that it is able now to get the certifications which are needed to KEBS?
Okay. Oh, fantastic. I think now that is even much clearer. So could you share a little bit of your journey, working at KIRDI? How does it look like?
Okay. My journey working at KIRDI has been very interesting. It started out, I think, more than 15 years ago.
No.
Yes. I started out more than 15 years ago, and I started as an assistant research scientist. I've been able to grow within the the job cadres.
Okay.
And basically, what has been interesting to me is that I was looking for a space where I'm able to translate what I was able to gain in school as academic qualifications into something that is tangible, a product or a person for impact, something that I can be able to see, a product that I can be able to actually touch, and also touching lives, and just making sure that there's actually that translation. You want to have your academic qualifications translate into something. You don't want it just to be an innate kind of qualification where you are just told, okay, you are qualified, and yet you are not able to put it into practice. And basically, it's more of a role. The role that I have enjoyed most, basically, it's all about linking academia to industry.
Okay.
Yes. So that is what the KIRDI journey has enabled me to do in the work that I'm able to undertake at the institute.
Okay, fantastic. And now, Ingrid, even as we now try to get deeper, research still shows that there are so many micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises who have not yet certified their products, really. And so this begs the question: is it that they don't know that they need to certify their products, or it is just ignorance, or what really is making these MSMEs not to get their products certified?
Previously, it was the knowledge that was lacking that you need to certify your product. But I think now that one is all out. Because if you look at when there's a surveillance exercise, let's say by the Kenya Bureau of Standards or any other organization which is going around, you normally see if your product has not yet complied, that is when you see people closing shop and running away. So they are aware that there's something that they're supposed to be doing. Then there comes the way of demystifying the process. Previously, it was thought to be very complicated, but it has been made very, very simple, just to make sure that you have a one-stop shop where you can be able to access all services which you need for certification. So if you look at the ecosystem, the way it has been built, we have organizations which are able to cater for the product development bit, the product improvement bit. We have, such as KIRDI, you have another organization which is able to cater for intellectual property, if that is your challenge area. Then you have other organizations which are able to cater for regulatory. And the good thing, as I said before, they all work together. They're not working in silos. They all work together. If you go to KEBS and your product is not yet certified, or maybe it has failed the certification, you had applied and they came and they did the sampling and it has failed the certification, they will actually refer you to KIRDI.
You go back to KIRDI.
Yeah, they will tell you plainly, kindly go back to KIRDI. They will be able to assist you. If you come to us, the same thing applies. Where we think that you need intellectual property guidance, we will refer you to KIPI. Yes, we will refer you to KIPI. We have an office of intellectual property in KIRDI, but we will also refer you to KIPI so that we just make sure that the whole scope it's a full cycle, which is holistic in its approach.
You've talked about KIPI. Now, there's some other entrepreneurs who don't really understand what KIPI is, what does it do, how is it important to them as well. Would you demystify that a little bit?
Yes, KIPI is an organization. It's called the Kenya Industrial Property Institute.
Yes.
They deal with intellectual property. When we're talking about intellectual property, in Swahili words, they say ubunifu wa kiakili. That which is intellectual, it is not tangible. Then now that is the one you get to translate into something that can be protected. You want to have your protection on intellectual property because you're looking at exploiting its commercial value. So, for example, if the best known, I think, in Kenya is the M-Pesa. Not everybody can use the word M-Pesa. It is associated with a certain industry. It is associated with a certain product. It is associated with certain benefits. So that's how you should also be able to look at your product when you put it out there. For example, if you're looking at a product, let me go to the traditional ones which people know. The word Omo. When you go to the supermarket and you say you want to buy Omo and then you go and pick an alternate product which is not actually written Omo. Omo is a trademark. For a certain company, it is showing that this is our product and the formulation is known by that particular company. Also, its characteristics and its market loyalty, which it has been able to gather over time, is well known.
Yes.
So any other product cannot be called that. So you should be able as an entrepreneur to come up with a product which can give you brand identity that you can be able to commercialize. Intellectual property is very good because it gets now to protect your space within the ecosystem to make sure that no one else is able to commercialize or exploit your product ungainfully. And that is why now you normally see there's a lot of guidance or there's a lot of surveillance which goes on so that you do not want people to infringe on your intellectual property when it comes to product, when it comes to if it's an industrial design, because it doesn't have to be tangible, it's an industrial design, you have to have that particular intellectual property just to protect that commercial space for you to reap the benefits that are associated with.
All right. So this ideally means, let's say I have a product here. Let's say I'm selling organic peanut butter, right? And then I come to KIRDI and I've not yet, gone to KIPI. So this means I still have to go to KIPI first and then I come to KIRDI, or how does it work?
You only go to KIPI if you have something intellectual property, something that is novel, something that is new.
All right.
Okay. And then also if you're looking at trademarks is now the name that you get to give, let's say, your product. Something like peanut butter on its own, you cannot offer intellectual property on that. It is already in the public domain. We know that this is peanut butter. You cannot be able to protect and say that peanut butter is an innovation.
The ingredients, the process of making it.
The process for making peanut butter is known.
It is known.
Yes.
So what is known?
What is known already in the public domain, known processes for making peanut butter, known processes for getting, let's say, making flour for ugali. The process is known.
Okay.
Unless now you make a discovery or you make an improvement on the process.
Yes.
Now that is something new. Okay, then that one is the one that can be protected.
Okay.
Yes, but you cannot go and protect maize flour.
I wanted to bring that out because now there are some people, let's say maybe they want to improve from what they already have, but again, they also want to protect that. You get it?
I'm getting you. You can improve the process, but that improvement, it also has to be a novel improvement. Not novel is something new.
Yes.
Kitu mpya, it's not something that I can be able to access from somewhere else. Okay. If the process, you have improved the process, but it is not novel, it is not new, you cannot be able to.
Okay. That's clear.
Yeah.
That's clear. And so then we can dive into the step-by-step process that now an entrepreneur is coming to KIRDI. Where does he or she start from? I'm coming to KIRDI as an entrepreneur. Could you take us through the step-by-step process? Then I'm moving from product development now to product certification. And then after that, now I can go and access the market successfully.
Okay. So there are different entry points when it comes to product development or product improvement. I'd like to use the two. There are those who can come in with just an idea. Like you're telling me, I want to make this. You don't have a product. And basically when we take that entrepreneur in, they are taken through idea screening.
Yeah.
We have had idea screening is to just make sure that whatever you're presenting to us as an idea is sound for market. Okay. So if you come to me and you tell me that you want to make a food product that has medical claims, okay, you're saying that this food product is also able to probably heal something, treat something.
Reduce the marks on your face.
That's for a cosmetic.
Yeah.
Anything that is curative, treatment aligned, then we shall direct you accordingly. That is when now we do the idea screening and we do it together.
Okay.
We shall explain to you that, look, this product, you cannot be able to make a food product and put in medical claims because, one, you're not a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
The validation for anything that is medical is done by the Pharmacy and Invoices Board. So it is just, when we are looking at the screening, is just a place where we are sitting down with you, the entrepreneur, and making sure that we are aligned, okay? So that we know that this is the product that is going to work, bringing each other on board. Then after the idea screening, if we now get to agree on the direction that we are going to take, we are going to identify the scope. The scope basically means that what is the extent of the work that we're going to do? Mm-hmm. Where does it start and where does it stop? And whose responsibility of the different parties? Who has which responsibility? Once we identify the scope, then we go to the specifications. The specifications, now we are looking at what the product is. What do you want the product for? For example, if you're talking about having a food product that is able to be consumed by lactating mothers, for it to be able to cause the milk to be plenty, then we shall be able to tell you, okay, these are food products. Are you looking at a flour? Are you looking at a baked product? Are you looking at a snack? So those specifications are known. Why we go to the specifications, it's because the Kenya Bureau of Standards, they don't give general standards. Their standards are product specific. Okay. So you cannot say that this is a flour and then when I turn it into a baked product, it will work. You have to give us this product because the certification process is also product specific. Once we agree on the specifications, basically now it means that the work can start. The entrepreneur is now required to be able to provide certain inputs. For example, they have to provide the raw materials, because if you come and tell me that you want your product to have moringa and you also want it to have nuts, and it's you to go and source for those materials and bring it to us. Of course, we give you guidance on the quality of the materials that you need to bring to be able to enable us to have a good product at the very end. And then now the product development is done by our technical experts in the laboratory at bench scale. Product development is not done at pilot scale. Pilot scale is when now you are upscaling. You already have your product. So we do the product development at a laboratory bench scale. We do not shut out the industrial client. What we do, we develop the product at pilot scale, and then we call in the client to give them the products that we have been able to develop so that now they can take it for testing in the market and get some feedback for the same. Then the client brings the feedback back to us so that now we are able to incorporate or make improvements where we think are needed. After that, 1 or 2 times the product will be ready. Okay. Then now we do what is called now the technology transfer. How we do the technology transfer for the product development, we do this by technology training. Technology training, I will get you Edith and I will tell you, okay, you remember the product that you tested, you picked product B. This is how you make product B. And we take you in a laboratory setting and we train you. And in this particular training, you do not have to have academic qualifications. We can train anybody. We are able to tailor training to fit any clientele.
Perfect.
Yes. So that's how you get the technology transferred to you. After we have transferred the technology to you, now it is your onus, of course, with our technical guidance and advisory, to apply for the KEBS certification of that particular product that we have trained you in. Then now we go to the KEBS certification product from there. Yes.
And so this one looks like it's got a long process. So what do you think many entrepreneurs face the greatest challenge?
Okay. On the process, I don't think it's long. It's only that I think I have gone into long explanations on it, because product development, basically, if you're looking at a food product, if it is a standard food product, it will take us about a month, 2 weeks to a month. We'll be with the product development and you will have access to your trading.
But now, I know you've worked with a lot of entrepreneurs as well. So in this process, where do you think we we lose most of the entrepreneurs, because we have some that say it is quite long, it is, it is tiresome, it is cumbersome, and some even opt to,
to give.
Yeah.
Okay. So for that particular space, one thing I would say is the entrepreneur one has to be ready and committed to the process, because you see, you're looking at you having a product at the very end that you're going to take to market. So it is an investment kind of process.
Absolutely.
Investment kind of process. So why sometimes it takes long is when you're not prepared. When you're not prepared for it, because the product development can happen very quickly. Okay. But then now when you go to the certification process, it involves some documentation. And if you are not well versed in filling or providing those documentation, that is where it can be a little bit, you can find it to be a little bit lengthy. But the good thing is that during the technology transfer process, when you're being guided by our technical experts in the training, you are able to also be taken through those particular documentation that you will need. That this is the kind of information for in-process testing that will be required. This is the information that you will require to fill in the form. This is how you should be able to present it. So if they're able to access the technology training, basically they are better prepared to be able to go through the KEBS process. They won't find it to be overwhelming. Yes, they won't find it to be overwhelming. There are other services also which go to support the same. We have a facility that is called the Common Manufacturing Facility. For most industrial clients, especially the ones in food, food, you cannot be sampled from your home. So if you're making your product at home,
you can't do it at home.
You cannot do it at home.
Okay.
Yes. You have to be sampled in a facility, a controlled facility. Okay?
Okay.
Now that is where something like common manufacturing facilities come in. Because if you have been trained by KIRDI, you are able to access the common manufacturing facility at KIRDI as your production or processing premise. So the KEBS will come and sample you from KIRDI.
Okay.
Yes, under our technical guidance also. So the chances of you going wrong, then they become very slim. It makes it a very seamless and smooth process. So you're able to access that. But for food processes, I repeat, for food processes,
okay, they have to.
You have to get a facility which you can get sampled. They can't sample you from your home, even if you're making the best peanut butter in your world. Yes,
I think that is clear. That is very much clear. And so before that or this entrepreneur comes to KIRDI, are there things that they need to do or to have before they come to you, just to avoid a lot of back and forth?
For training, there's nothing that they need to have.
Just the idea.
Yeah, have your idea. Tell us you want to come and train in this particular thing. Okay, we shall be able to respond. If you have been able to put it in writing within 5 working days, we are able to give you an answer. Even the ones who come in as walk-ins, most of the time they don't have to live to wait for the documentation. Because if you're a walk-in, we are able to give you the information there and then on what you require. Yes.
You're making this sound very easy.
It is very easy. It's making this easy.
Entrepreneurs often mention delays, paperwork, hidden cost, repeated testing, rejected applications, right? So what are the most common challenges that these MSMEs face in certification? Even before we go to certification, why do they have to go through all this?
Why you have to go through all that? Why you have
it's a must.
Yes, it's a must. It is a must. You're talking about putting out a product to the market.
Yeah.
So we are talking about consumer protection. Okay. And we are also talking about your protection as an industrial client, as a manufacturer, as a processor. So these processes, the way they have been set is to actually provide protection to both the consumer whom you would be selling the products to, and also you as the manufacturer. Because if you look at how the processes have been laid, if you look at testing basically we are talking about quality control and quality assurance. There are some minimum standards which have been set for your product. You have to give us at least the minimum. If you're giving us premium, we thank God. But you have to give us at least the minimum. Okay? Value for money. That is one also very, very important. Safety and efficacy. That is also very, very important. So we cannot underscore the importance of testing. Testing, very, very good. Where testing is normally, I know a lot, is during the product development phase. Because for each ingredient or each formulation that you make, you have to test to see whether it is still complying to the minimum requirements which the product will be subjected to. When it comes now to the final product and you have finished, you have your prototype, testing is also very good because you have to show that you have an understanding as an industrial client of the requirements, product specifications that are required by the Kenya Bureau of Standards. Because if you do not have that understanding, how will you make for me a good product? When I come and ask you, okay, what is the protein value for this? Are you able to defend it?
You should be able to know.
You should be able to know. You cannot just depend on anecdotal knowledge and say, my grandmother used to give us and it is very good.
Yeah.
It actually has to be given the scientific background for defense.
I know you've touched a little bit about this, but now that we have you here, so what has KIRDI been doing, or how does it do in supporting innovators in standardizing their products? And then what are the key services or facilities that are available for entrepreneurs?
Okay. For product standardization, if you're looking at, you already have an existing product that you need some improvements on, or an existing process that you're working with, standardization basically just helps you to be able to have that reproducibility of the same, so that if you're not there, I can be able to give that process to someone else and they are still able to give us still the same product at the same quality. So standardization is very important. So how we help in standardization of products and processes, we have a team of technical experts in the various fields, from food to chemical engineering to main engineering, if you're looking at engineering fabrications, environmental, textile scientists, and the rest, because we deal with the whole scope of industry support. So we have technical experts who are going to help with that. They look at your process, they assess the process, and then they test it. Not only standardization, they can also be able to optimize. Optimize basically means that it is working at the best when you have put in certain, optimum capacity or optimum delivery on the same. On the part of what KIRDI facilities and services that we have to be able to support the innovation system, we have different services which fall under both the industrial research arm of the institute and also the technology transfer and extension arm. On the research arm, if you're looking at a completely novel product, something that has not been done, for example, you want to introduce, probably you're thinking some berries which used to be in the wild and they are a good product. So for them, they're going to do the industrial research on it for them to be able to come up with a product. Then the technology transfer arm is going to take that particular product and be able to multiply, to optimize and see whether it has commercial value. The commercial value has to come in. And then after that, now you're going to go through the technology training. So some of the services that we have, yes, we have the industrial research that they're able to carry for the enterprises. We also have the technology training that is tailored towards individuals. You can access it as an individual, you can access it as a group. It depends on what you want. Then we have the other services which I had touched on before, the common manufacturing facilities. You're able to access that if you have been trained by KIRDI to be able to produce your products.
You will only access that if you've been trained by KIRDI.
Yes, because the key word here is common manufacturing facility. Yes, meaning that anybody can come and access that facility. We want the enterprises or the industrial clients who are coming in to be able to adhere to the standard operating procedures, guidelines. You don't want someone to come in and mess up for everybody else. Because if you're found to mess up with the common manufacturing facility system as is, it is not only you as Edith Foods that is going to suffer. It is actually all the people who are accessing that facility. So it's normally we encourage the persons who should be accessing that facility are the ones whom we have been able to train, because we have been able to guide them appropriately to be able to fit within that particular ecosystem. And then apart from the common manufacturing facility, we have the technology incubation. Technology incubation works best if you're looking at coming all the way from idea generation to screening, ideation stage, fruit stage, prototyping, all those.
Iteration.
Yes. Yeah, and it can also cover the process of KEBS certification. The common manufacturing facility can, but also it can be included in the technology incubation. And then we also have other services such as the technical consultancies. Now, these ones are very specific to a certain industry. If you're looking to set up, let's say, a banana processing plant in Siaya, so we have a section in KIRDI that deals with feasibility studies, it deals with baseline surveys. So now they're able to tell you, look, there are enough bananas in Siaya County, the type of banana is this, the planting season is this one. You are able now to put in a better picture for you to be investor ready, or to be able to access finances which are able to set up on the same. If you take a loan, this is your return on investment on the same. These are the kind of products that you can be able to do. Of course, they work also with the technical experts in that particular area. And then we have the Laboratory Services Center. The Laboratory Services Center basically deals with the holistic quality control, quality assurance space of all products. If we're talking about research, they're able to do the analysis then. If you're talking about your product as an industrial client, they're also able to do the testing for the same.
All right, so let's talk to this entrepreneur who's in Siaya County. You talked about Siaya County, and they want to access KIRDI. So how can they do that? And how do you also ensure that there is no language barrier? I know you talked about the technology aspect of it. So how do you ensure that this mama really is well taken care of? She doesn't feel left out. She doesn't feel neglected. How do you rather even inform her that actually KIRDI is here to help you? Because again, there are other entrepreneurs who don't even know that KIRDI is there. Absolutely. Or those that have an idea, they don't know how to access KIRDI.
Okay. For the mama in Siaya, for her to...
Or even Kwale County.
Or even Kwale County, or any county
Yeah.
space, okay? Basically, we have a way that we have done, like the center dispersion technology. We have various industrial technology transfer offices which are distributed in the country. We don't yet have a wide country presence. We have one in Migori, we have another one in Kisii, we have others in Uasin Gishu County, Kisumu County, we have in Migori, we have in Garissa, and we also have in Kilifi. But despite of us not having currently a county coverage, we also work very closely with other sister institutions who already have facilities in the counties.
Okay.
Yes, we work with the ATDCs, Agricultural Technology Development Centers. We work with our sister institutions such as CALRO, which also has a wide spec, to be able to deliver on our mandate. So when we get clients who are far off in terms of location access, that one we are able to do. And the trainings also, they don't only need to be done in KIRDI. If as an industrial client you have your own facility, we are able to come and train you from your facility. Okay. Yes. We are able to come and train you on your facility. When it comes to language and communication during training, we have KIRDI is blessed with the whole of Kenya in terms of the people that we have been able to employ. People speak different languages. We don't need to deliver the curriculum in English if that is difficult for the industrial client. Okay. We are able to tailor it to fit the client so that they are able to understand. Because I remember, as I said before, we are not academic. What we want is you come, you have gotten, we want you to have the product. Yes. Yes, at the end of the day, you want you to have the product. So whether you are educated or not, whether you understand the language or not, you'll be able to actually access training. We are able to also get in translators if need be, where we don't have capacity for someone who speaks the language. We are able to do that. So not only can we train in English, we can train in Swahili. We can train in Gen Z language. Yeah, just to make sure that they are able
to understand.
And our training is not geared on theory. It's more on the practical. Okay. We do technical demonstrations. There are lots of practical sessions because at the end of the day, we want the output, which is the product. to be able to comply.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are able to access training, you'll be able to live with your product at the very end of the day.
Even as we're about to wrap up, how easy or how difficult is the KEBS application process?
Well, the process, I would say that it has been simplified. Before, it used to be hard because you had to go there physically, but right now it has been put on the portal. So it is an online process. Basically, what you do, you apply on their portal. It is called a KIMS portal. That is KIMS. You apply there, you go to application for standardization, and then there are some forms which you will encounter on that particular portal. But now remember, you are an entrepreneur who has already accessed KIRDI support. You'll be able to fill those forms very easily. If you have any problem, you can be able to contact the person who was able to train you. They'll be able to guide you further. And then after that, you just make your payments. The payments are also online.
How much? How much is the payment?
We are talking about 11,650 for 3 products.
For the whole process,
Yes, 11,650 for 3 products. Okay. So if you're able to do 3 products at once, that's one of the ways on how you can be able to save on some money.
Makes sense.
Yes, it makes sense. Instead of giving out 1 product at a time, you sample them at the same time, 3 products in the same product category. So in food or in any other chemical engineering or in leather, then they are able to do. Once you do make your payments, then they are going to give you a date for inspection and testing. Inspection is now that time when they come to your facility.
Okay.
Or they're coming to sample the product. You are not allowed to take the product.
Do they inform you or just impromptu?
Oh, no. They inform you.
Okay.
They inform you and you actually agree on the dates that you want them to come. Okay. And then after that, in the factory inspection or in the inspection and the sampling procedure, just remember they are looking at your person, you who we have trained. So you need to have the qualifications or expertise on the product. They're looking at the process. They're looking also at the premises to see that it is fit for such production. And then finally, they're looking at the product. So KEBS certification is not only about the product at the very end. They look at the person, how you have been trained, or if you have the knowledge. They look at the process, if you're doing the correct thing. They look at the premises, that place where you're doing the production. Is it fit?
Does it
then
fit?
Then they now finally look at your product. So it is not only the product that they're certifying. And then once they have been able to sample, you give them some time, about 60 days or less. There are some people who normally get their certifications even about a week or 2 after.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yeah, there are. So you give them some time. They test your product, which they have sampled. They look at the documentation that you were able to present during the application. And then now, if your product has passed when it comes to the specifications, the qualities, the specifications, then now they're able to issue you with a mark. They will contact you on the same, and it will be still in digital form so that you're able to incorporate it seamlessly in your product labels. And then now you produce, but make sure that during your production, you're still complying to the standards, because there's also something that is called market surveillance. That is now the impromptu that you're talking about. So that you don't make a product that is just fit for KEBS sampling purposes and certification, and then you go back into your facility and you start making something that is substandard. So market surveillance, that is continuous for KEBS all through. So anytime you can see them coming, but most of the time they'll give you the schedule.
Now, what happens if a consumer picks a product, let's say in a supermarket, and they take that product and let's say, unfortunately, it harms them? Who do they contact? Or do they check the product and then they contact KEBS, or not, they contact the manufacturers?
They should be able to contact, the first point of contact, it should be the manufacturer.
Okay.
Yes. That is why it is normal. It is actually a requirement that the contacts for the manufacturer are put on the product label. So when they contact the manufacturer, if it is something that requires a product recall, they shall be able to advise. And even KEBS will be able to advise on the same. You remember like the issue that we had with the aflatoxin maize? Yeah. So there are product recall procedures that are in place, which the client has already been guided. Okay, when they're filling the form, because that's one of the documentation, you have to tell us what is your product recall procedure, what is your non-conformity procedure for the same. So, and also there are other bodies. If you find that this is consistently happening, there's a consumer authority for Kenya. where you should be able to contact. But the first point of contact should be the manufacturer so that they're able to undertake also corrective action for the same.
All right. Now, Ingrid, looking ahead, what opportunities do you see for young innovators in Kenya's food industry? And also, how can KIRDI help them bring this to life?
Okay, there are a lot of opportunities which exist, especially if you're looking at export markets. Yeah, the export space is still very, very big. And
with the help of KEPROBA or?
Yes, with the help of KEPROBA, you are able to access these markets. The only thing that you need is a good quality product, which KIRDI shall be able to support you on the same. So exploration of the export markets is a big area that we think we should be going on. Strengthening the capacity for local production, even for our own consumption, not just relying on imports for things which we should be producing. So now this one will require concerted effort. If, for example, if you're looking at the vegetable oil industry, we should not be getting all the time the imports, yet we can be able as Kenyan to produce the same raw material and process it for the same. So there are a lot of spaces which have come in. Agro-processing, looking at it as a whole, for example, the meat industry, poultry industry, fish industry, very interesting products are coming up. You have the meat, for example, if you're looking at the Garissa and the Asal areas, they have dried camel meat, a traditional technology which KIRDI was able to standardize the process for it to be export ready. So sometimes it is just something that you're looking around you and you're thinking, this is something my parents did, this is something that my grandmothers did, but it can actually be turned into a commercial product. So the youth should also be able to explore that safe. And then also not only play it safe there. There are a lot of opportunities when you're looking at emerging food products, new products, for example, the lactation cookies, new products when you're looking at energy bars, energy drinks. Food is actually very wide and it is thriving right now. So those which goes to address a specific need or a specific nutritional profile, they're good places where you can be able to start.
All right. Thank you so much, Ingrid, for creating time, for coming here to share your nuggets. I know and I'm very certain that there are so many entrepreneurs who will gain a lot from this knowledge product in this episode. Thank you so much, our viewers, for creating time to, listening to this important knowledge product. And we are very certain that this will help you grow and sustain your business. If you felt stuck in a process, and I know very well that you'll be able to, use that information to help you grow and sustain your business economically. If you have any question, please put them on the chat, put them on the comment section. We should be able to again to reach to Ingrid and maybe any other person that comes from KIRDI that can answer that question. For now, it's bye-bye and let's meet on the next episode.